Yo, 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 what's going on, guys? Catcher here. Hey, I was going to do like a little salute to Mothfest 2024 this coming weekend. I know some people are going. Sorry I can't make it. Much love to everyone. Have a good time. MetaZoo made a big impact on that, and it's become much bigger because of MetaZoo. MetaZoo has started to impact the cryptid community. It's how it got me. It's how it got most of us who are even still here right now. It's because our love for cryptids. So, as much as we talk about the game, as much as we talk about collecting the cards and collections and the gamers and all the stuff, the cryptid community is what separates us from everything. So, events like this weekend are very special, especially for MetaZoo. So we'll do my first edition PSA 10 Mothman. Bear with me. Um, but more good news came, it seems to be good news at least. Of course, nothing is etched in stone, but very, very good news. Nick doing his usual superhero MetaZoo stuff. He's freaking amazing, that guy. Some guy named Charlie may be buying it. Well known in the TCG community. I don't know anything about him because I'm not from the TCG community. But I already saw like in some of the chats where they're like questioning him and like trying to pick him apart. I mean, come on, guys. First of all, give the guy a break. It sounds like he's at least deserves a chance. I would be most curious as to who he knows. I mean, in this TCG community, and I guess he's really big in Pokemon, so I'm sure he's really close to at least a couple people who had a lot to do with the zoo. But so that's what I'd be interested in. But you know, I'm almost positive he's got to have good intentions. He's obviously got deep pockets. So think about what logically what they would do. I know, and one of the huge, amazing, great points Nick made through all this last 9 months was about how we were all about the product dumping and everything, and if he had like a legitimate chance to buy MetaZoo, he wouldn't dump the product. He'd just sit on it and try to, maybe sell some of the big stuff. But that's because, he was in a situation he would have been in, but he was absolutely right in the fact that they should not be dumping the product. Hopefully, this guy is just, with his deep pockets he seems to have, is not just going to dump product if he does. If he does get it, of course, if he does get it, or anyone who gets it really. But to not dump the product. So I don't think that's going to be a really big fear, because what's the number one thing aside from loss of money, obviously, but the next biggest thing was the trust that was broken between the MetaZoo and just the all the, without going too far into it. If you're here, I don't really want to go into it, but we'll just say mistreatment from the management to the fans, the customers. So to build that trust is going to have to be number one. And to build the trust would have to be to make all attempts, if financially feasible, to keep the product integrity intact. So number one, to get all the product, not to split the IP. So it seems like that's all what's happening from the reporting that's been done. Make sure everything stays intact to keep that integrity for the product. I would imagine the next step would be the printer with that situation to resolve, whatever issues there are. We know there are issues, and repair that relationship and hopefully get as much trust going back between them and, if it happens to be this guy Charlie or whoever else, uh, and his group, from what I hear. Um, you know, keep that product integrity, and then the third thing would just not be dumping the product to sit on it. Obviously, if he's got 2 million cash, and I think I saw somewhere where he had like, I don't know, $10 or $20 million Pokemon collection. He's not starving. He don't need money. So there's no need to sell the inventory. You just sit on it forever. There's no rush to do anything. Just take it step by step. But I'm sure he doesn't have that money, and he's not that successful unless he has a plan. So I'm sure I don't need to be telling him, or anyone probably in his community could tell him, because to get to that level, you have to have a brain on your shoulders. But there are some very sharp people in this community, and I hope that he would have the wisdom to at least listen to some, and I hope somehow, some way, Nick is involved. I mean, Nick is a warrior. Menace is a warrior. I'll talk more about those two probably on a different stream. But without those two guys, believe it, MetaZoo would not be where it is today without Nick and Menace. But as far as the zoo, and I don't mean to really hurt some feelings by doing my little skits on, what is it, MetaZoo's dead, or MetaZoo's a scam. The MetaZoo's a scam skits. It's just to really, it's not even like I told you so or anything like that. It's just like, people, shut up, man. Get a life. Look yourself in the mirror. Why would you say Red MetaZoo's a scam? I'm just putting out all the reasons why people would possibly say that it is. Because it's not using logic. If they look at all the information around them, there's no reason to ever say MetaZoo's a scam. Yes, we got jacked at the end, and it frickin' sucked. But it was by an atrociously, horribly managed business with horrible decisions, and we don't know exactly what all went on. But it was never a scam. It was a passion project from the beginning, and it sucks. I don't know what happened along the way. None of us do. Who knows if we ever will. But, this is Mike. It's all Mike. And whatever, went wrong along the way, this is like a freaking... This was the golden ticket. Like, how can you screw this thing up, man? But we're going in a positive direction. I'm just going to add to these last skits. With the meta, like I just said, I always forget. Not the MetaZoo's dead. The MetaZoo's a scam. After those skits, I'm gonna try to not dwell on the past and too much, and stay positive with the content. But some of it needs to be addressed. And the future's still shaky, but it's great news. Imagine 9 months, we're dead. Like, people thought it was not going to exist anymore. Which, a genius idea usually finds a way. I mean, it's a genius idea. It was just mismanaged. So, love all y'all. I believe that's 35 first edition PSA 10 Mothman. Freaking Mothfest 2024. Keep pushing this stuff forward. Love all y'all. Peace.